Have you ever been in the middle of a heated argument or maybe receiving some really terrible news and suddenly you feel the uncontrollable urge to laugh? You bite your lip, you look away, but a chuckle escapes anyway. You aren't trying to be disrespectful and nothing is actually funny. Welcome to the perplexing world of nervous laughter. Today, we are exploring the psychology behind why we sometimes laugh in the most serious, inappropriate situations. To understand this, we first need to define what nervous laughter actually is. At its core, nervous laughter is an involuntary, subconscious defense mechanism. It is important to emphasize right away that this reaction is not about finding humor in sadness, anger, or tragedy. It is a physical reaction to a psychological state. When you laugh at a funeral or during a fight, your brain isn't processing a joke. Instead, it is desperately trying to regulate an overwhelming surge of emotion. So, what is happening inside your mind when this occurs? The primary psychological reason behind nervous laughter is tension release. When we encounter extreme stress or anxiety, our bodies build up an enormous amount of nervous energy. Laughter acts as a physiological safety valve, releasing that unbearable tension before it completely overwhelms our system. It is a profound coping mechanism. Your brain uses laughter to trick your body into calming down, lowering your heart rate, and reducing stress hormones to process difficult emotions. You can also think of it as an offshoot of our primal responses: fight, flight, or freeze. When you cannot physically escape a stressful situation and you freeze, your brain might trigger laughter as a strange, confused way to signal that the danger has passed, even when the threat is still very real. This defense mechanism tends to show up in a few common scenarios. Think about intense arguments. When tension is high and emotions are strained to their breaking point, a sudden laugh can slip out simply because the brain cannot process any more anger or frustration. Then, there are sad events. It is surprisingly common for people to experience nervous laughter at funerals, when hearing bad news, or during moments of intense grief. The sheer weight of the sadness triggers the brain's emergency release valve. Finally, we see it often in awkward social situations where discomfort is paramount and silence feels completely suffocating. The biggest problem with nervous laughter is how it is perceived by others. It is incredibly easy for this involuntary reaction to be misunderstood as insensitivity, arrogance, or a complete lack of empathy. If you are crying and the person across from you starts laughing, it feels like a personal attack, but understanding the psychology behind it changes everything. Empathy is crucial here. If we recognize that the laughter is actually a sign of severe internal distress and not cruelty, we can respond with compassion rather than anger. We can see the person for what they are, overwhelmed. To wrap up, remember that nervous laughter is an involuntary defense mechanism designed to release unbearable tension and help us cope with overwhelming stress. It is not a sign of joy, it is a sign of psychological overload. The next time you witness someone laughing at the worst possible moment, or if you catch yourself doing it, take a step back, be a little more understanding, and remember what is really happening beneath the surface. Have you ever experienced nervous laughter in a serious situation? Share your story in the comments below.